Hello again, world. Hello, YouTube land. I'm doing quite a lot of reviews today, and I'm doing quite a lot of reading. I'm having a jolly good old time, doing some reading, getting some exercise in, and doing some reviews. So yeah, all's right in the world with old Rorschach here. This review's going to be quite simple, really, quite brief. Here we go. There's the book, Sidekick, from J. Michael Straczynski. I think you say his name. This is the cover B. It's a pretty cool looking cover, in my opinion. Unfortunately, it's the best thing about the book. If you look at the actual artwork in the book, let me give you a good example. There we go. It's a good panel there. It's almost like a kid's comic, really. So not in keeping with the cover. I know it's not the original cover, but looking at the cover, that's like the sidekick with a bottle of whiskey with him. It looks dark and intense. You open the comic and it's all bright and cheerful, really. Although the subject matter does get a bit dark, it doesn't quite fit in. It doesn't really fit in the artwork and the themes that are explored in the comic. Sort of jolted a bit for me. Anyway, if I talk briefly about the plot. First off, this J. Michael Straczynski. I read the first issue of 10 Grand. That's his latest comic, isn't it, apart from this one. I wasn't too impressed. It came across to me like maybe a mid to late 1990s comic. It seems out of date, a bit old-fashioned. It was trying to be cool and trying to be edgy, but in a world pre 9/11, it was just old. It didn't ring true. It had bits and pieces about the internet and stuff in it, but they were almost like they were added on just to try to make an old story appear modern, but it didn't work, and I didn't like the book at all. The art was great in it. I love the artwork. The artwork in 10 Grand is much better than the artwork in this, but the actual story itself it rang a bit hollow to me, so I didn't follow that one. So this book here was me giving J. Michael Straczynski one last chance to see if he could impress me. He failed. He didn't impress me at all, unfortunately. I'll be honest, you know, when I went into this comic, I thought I wouldn't like it, and I was sort of enjoying it a little bit, but then I read it a couple of times and I thought, nah, I don't really want to keep on reading this one. I'll tell you what happens. As usual in my reviews, I'm not going to do too many spoilers. There'll be a couple here, but I won't go into the big one at the end. There's a big reveal at the end of this book. Right, so Sidekick. The beginning of the comic is Red Cow and Flyboy, two superheroes. Red Cow, the main guy, so as you could call Red Cow Batman, and Flyboy Robin. Red Cow ends up getting shot in the head, a la JFK, in that like open top car in front of everybody. Flyboy's next to him when this happens, and after this event, you see Flyboy failing to deal with it, really. The money's run out. Apparently Red Cow wasn't as rich as Flyboy thought, so the funds are running low, and the poor old Flyboy, he doesn't appear to have any public sympathy. I thought that rang a bit hollow as well. I mean, he has a Kickstarter page. I think they call it something else. That's what it is, it's Kickstarter. He's looking to raise $100,000, and you can only raise $1,247. I'm thinking, surely if his partner, Red Cow, who's you know, according to this comic, it's like a university love, there'd be massive sympathy for Flyboy. If Red Cow is, you know, is a superhero partner was shot in the head, almost like on live TV, it'd be all over YouTube and everything nowadays, wouldn't it? And this poor Flyboy, he'd be appearing on chat shows. He'd be like he'd have so much sympathy on him. It'd be unbelievable. He'd have money chucked at him left, right, and centre. But in this book, no one gives a crap about him, and that didn't seem to be, like I said before, it doesn't seem to ring true. So this Flyboy sort of falling into depression, really. There was a really good scene with I have to give J. Michael Straczynski credit for this. There's a really good scene with Flyboy apprehending a prostitute in the corner, and I don't want to be too graphic, but he received his payoff in the corner of the alleyway. That was probably the highlight of the book. It was quite gross, but quite funny. Just the whole thing didn't seem to, you know, ring true to me. And then there's a big reveal at the end, which I won't go into, because although I dislike this comic, it's still a comic, so I still want people to check it out for themselves. See if I've got any other things I want to say about it. Yeah, overall, actually I'll talk about the art first. The art, I didn't like it. I mentioned that at the beginning of the video, didn't I? That didn't fit the story. It was too bright, it was too colourful, it was like a kid's comic, it was like something that a 10-year-old would read. Didn't like it at all. Yeah, overall, if you want to see a sidekick get tortured unconvincingly, get this book. So if you read Batman and Robin and you hate Robin, and you want to see a book where all that happens is that poor Robin gets tormented and tortured, and you'll see him sliding into alcoholism and all sorts of horrible things, then get this book. I don't know why you'd want to do that. There's a quick interview here with Straczynski, and he's saying, if I just read this, "I'll be honest with you, as a kid reading comic books, I hated sidekicks." So because he's J. Michael Straczynski, and because he hated comic book sidekicks when he was a kid, and he gets to write an entire comic where he gets to abuse sidekicks. Doesn't interest me really. Does that interest you? Do you want to see a comic where some poor sidekick gets abused? I don't. It seems quite nasty to me really. It seems quite mean-spirited, and no, I'm not interested in it. So, sorry, J. Michael Straczynski, bloke who I can't name I can't pronounce, but your sidekick holds no interest to me whatsoever. Didn't like the art either. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Yeah, it's one of the worst I've read in a while. Yeah, 3 out of 10 for Sidekick. Check it out for yourself though, you might have a different opinion, and it is a comic, so it's better than not reading a comic, I guess, and yeah, worst one I've read this week so far anyway. 3 out of 10 for Sidekick. Okay, see ya.